My sister, can I have your attention, please? My brothers, my sisters, I know it's a happy night and we're celebrating, but we have a program to start, so if I can have everybody to cooperate with me, I would appreciate it. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. دریایی و دل دادی یک روز به دریایی، این شد که پدید آمد از عشق تو دنیایی. If I can have everyone's attention, please. دریایی و دل دادی یک روز به دریایی، این شد که پدید آمد از عشق تو دنیایی. هم صاحب آبی تو، هم روح حجابی تو، هم نور دل ساقی، هم مادر سقایی. شیدای شکوه تو تنها دل حیدر نیست، عالم همه مجنونند وقتی که تو لیلایی. Okay, there's a lot of noises, my sister. Can I have your attention, please? از نور تو یا کوثر تا کور شود ابتر، دارد دل پیغمبر چی ابیهایی. مرزیه و رازیه، ریحانه و هانیه، منصوره و مستوره، به به که چه اسمایی. معصومه و اسمت از نام تو می جوشد، هم کوثر و تسلیمی، هم صدره و توبایی. Can somebody answer that, please? باقی شده پربرکت، بهتر شده از جنت. آن روز چرا محشر نامش نشود آخر؟ آن روز تو می آیی ای جلوه زیبایی، هم دختر طاهایی، هم همسر مولایی. قدر تو ولی این نیست، این است که زهرایی. در خواندن تو سوزی است، با ما تو بخوان مادر. ای پادشه خوبان داد از غم تنهایی. صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد. صلی علی انگلیس. نفر اوکی. Okay, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the chance and the tawfiq to be at Masjid al-Rasul on this Friday night. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your Jama'ah prayers, inshallah. At the beginning of the program, on behalf of myself and our board, please accept my congratulations upon Hazrat Zahra salamun alayha's birth anniversary. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enlighten our minds and our hearts with the teaching of our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and Hazrat Zahra alayhimus salam, inshallah. We will start off tonight's program with recitation Quran. As usual, on the second session, I have two poetries. From brother's side, I have Haj Karim Bassam, and from the sister's side, I have Sister Fawzia Afzari, inshallah. If there's anybody else, please let me know so I can give you some time. Otherwise, we will go over our regular announcements, and we will have a Modares speech towards the end of the program, and we will finish with a short game tonight, inshallah. With that being said, we will be reciting Surah Yunus, verses 74 through 83, which will be recited by Brother Abbas Mehriyar, inshallah. The Farsi translation will be recited by Haja Yasin Amili, and the English translation will be recited by Sister Medina Talibi, inshallah, honoring Hazrat Zahra Salamullah alayha. Please recite a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
It's a Quran time, please everybody silent. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ثم بعثنا من بعده رسلا إلى قومهم فجاءوهم بالبينات فما كانوا ليؤمنوا بما كذبوا به من قبل كذلك نطبع على قلوب المعتدين ثم بعثنا من بعدهم موسى وهارون إلى فرعون وملئه بآياتنا فاستكبروا وكانوا قوما مجرمين فلما جاءهم الحق من عندنا قالوا إن هذا لسحر مبين قال موسى أتقولون للحق لما جاءكم أسحر هذا ولا يفلح الساحرون قالوا أجئتنا لتلفتنا عما وجدنا عليه آباءنا وتكون لكما الكبرياء في الأرض وما نحن لكما بمؤمنين وقال فرعون ائتوني بكل ساحر عليم فلما جاء السحرة قال لهم موسى ألقوا ما أنتم ملقون فلما ألقوا قال موسى ما جئتم به السحر إن الله سيبطله إن الله لا يصلح عمل المفسدين ويحق الله الحق بكلماته ولو كره المجرمون فما آمن لموسى إلا ذرية من قومه على خوف من فرعون وملئهم أن يفتنهم وإن فرعون لعال في الأرض وإنه لمن المسرفين صدق الله العلي العظيم.
أعوذ بالله من شر شیطان اللعین الرجیم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. سپس در پی او رسولان چند بر قومشان فرستادیم که برایشان دلیل‌های روشن آورند، اما نتوانستند آنچه را که پیش از آن دروغ شمرده بودند بدان ایمان بیاورند. این چنین بر دل تجاوزکاران مهر می نهیم. سپس در پی آنها موسی و هارون را با آیاتمان بر فرعون و بزرگان قومش فرستادیم، اما آنان خود را بزرگ شمردند و مردم گناهکار بودند. هنگامی که حق از سوی ما بر آنها آمد گفتند همانا که این سحر آشکار است. موسی گفت آیا درباره سخن حق که این یک بر شما آمده است میگویید که سحر است، در حالی که ساحران رستگار نخواهند شد؟ گفتند آیا بر ما آمده ای تا ما را از آیینی که پدرانمان را پیرو آن یافتیم منصرف سازی، تا اینکه تو و برادرت در این سرزمین سروری و بزرگی داشته باشید، ولی ما به شما دو نفر باور نخواهیم کرد. و فرعون گفت ساحران با دانش را نزد من بیاورید. هنگامی که ساحران بیامدند موسی با آنها گفت بیفکنید آنچه را مایلید بیفکنید. هنگامی که افکندنی ها را بیفکندند موسی گفت آنچه شما آورده اید سحر است. به یقین خدا آن را باطل خواهد کرد، زیرا که خدا کار مفسدان را به صلاح پیروزی نمیرساند و خدا با کلمه های خویش حق را استوار می کند، هرچند گناهکاران از آن ناخشنود باشند. و اما هیچ کس با موسی جز گروهی از فرزندان قومش از بیم آزار فرعون و بزرگان قومش از ترس اینکه آنها را بیازارند ایمان نیاوردند. و به راستی که فرعون در زمین بالادست و از اسرافکاران متجاوزان بود. صدق الله العلی العظیم. صلوات.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Then after him we sent other apostles to their people. They brought them clear proofs, but they would not believe something they had impugned before. Thus do we seal the hearts of the transgressors. Then after them we sent Moses and Aaron to Pharaoh and his elite with our signs, but they acted arrogantly, and they were a guilty lot. When the truth came to us from them, they said, "This is indeed plain magic." Moses said, "Do you say of the truth when it comes to you that this is magic? Is this magic? Magicians do not prosper." They said, "Have you come to us to turn us away from what we have found our fathers following, so that supremacy may be yours in the land? We will not believe in the two of you." Pharaoh said, "Bring me every expert magician." So when the magicians came, Moses said to them, "Throw down what you have to throw." So when they threw down their sticks and ropes, Moses said, "What you have produced is magic. Presently Allah will indeed bring it to naught. Indeed, Allah does not foster the efforts of those who cause corruption. Allah will confirm the truth with his words, though the guilty should be averse." But none believed in Moses, except some youths from his people, for the fear of Pharaoh and his elite, that he would persecute them. For Pharaoh was indeed a tyrant in the land, and indeed he was an unrestrained despot. JazakAllah Aliyul Azim. Salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Thank you to Brother Abbas Mehriyar, Yasin Ameli, and Sister Medina Talibi for recitation of Quran and Farsi and English translation. There is still a lot of noises, my brothers and sisters. I don't know what's going on. I know, as I said, we're celebrating tonight, but we also have a program to attend. So please, if I can have your cooperation, I would appreciate it. There has been a change in plan. We will start our second session with recitation of Hadith Qasa, inshallah. And afterwards, we will have the ceremony of cutting the cake, which has been provided, and we will have the poetries and articles right afterwards with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اسمك
برای سلامتی وجود مقدس آقا امام الزمان صلوات.
آقا عرفان حدیث کسا رو داریم اینجا داریم من یادمه که داشتیم.
برای تعجیل در ظهور آقا امام الزمان اجماعاً صلوات.
صدای اینم یکم بلند خیلی روی صداش یک این پاره. Okay, inshallah we will be reciting this hadith, this narration known as the event of the cloak, hadith al-Kisa, as a way inshallah to honor Prophet and his family. This is one of the places that if for anyone there is a confusion, who are the Ahlul Bayt? Who are the people of the household of the Prophet? Is it included his cousins and other relatives and wives, or no, is it specifically to some? According to this and many other hadith and narration in the books of hadith of all Muslims, Prophet clarified. And we have that for 6 months after the revelation of the verse of Tathir, this is again mentioned in Sunni books and also considered authentic. Our Prophet went to the house of Fatima to Zahra and recited Ayatul Tathir, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ. And then he said, this house and the people of this house, referring to Imam Ali, Fatima to Zahra, Hassan and Hussein, هَؤُلَاء أَهْلِي, these are my family, these are my household. So we inshallah dedicate the thawab and the reward of tonight to Sayyida Fatima salamun alayha with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن فاطمة الزهراء عليه السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله قال سمعت فاطمة أنها قالت دخل علي أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة. فقلت عليك السلام. قال إني أجد في بدني ضعفا. فقلت له أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف. فقال يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به. فأتيت بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن عليه السلام قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أمه. فقلت عليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال يا أمه إني يشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جدا يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء؟ فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء، فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أمه. فقلت: عليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي: يا أمه، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جده، السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال: السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت: عليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال: يا فاطمة، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم، ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له: وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وصيي وخليفتي وصاحب لوائي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء، ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت: السلام عليك يا أبتا يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال: وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بضعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء، فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال: اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم، وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم، فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، واذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.
فقال الله عز وجل: يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل: يا ربي ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل: هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل: يا رب أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله: نعم قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله. العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك: وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله: وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله، إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لأبي: إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول: إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل.
فقال علي لأبي: يا رسول الله، أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله: والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا، ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي عليه السلام: إذا والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله: يا علي، والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا، ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله همه ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي عليه السلام: إذن والله فزنا وسعدنا، فكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.
Thank you, Modares, for beautiful recitation of Hadith Qissa. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us, inshallah, and we will continue our program at this point. Before I forget, I would like to take this opportunity and thank all of those sisters who were involved with the decoration of our masjid for tonight's occasion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him ajr and thawab, inshallah. And 2 beautiful cakes also have been provided to celebrate tonight's occasion. I would like to thank the sponsors of the cake as well for the well-being of everybody who was involved with the decoration and the cake sponsors. Please recite a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. As I mentioned, I have 2 poetries, but before we go to poetries, I would like to invite Ajaga Modares to cut the cakes, and then we will continue our program with the poems and articles, inshallah, with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, for the honor of Sayyidah Fatima salamun alayha, her father Rasulullah, her husband Imam Ali alayhi salam, and her sons Hassan and Hussein, and the family of the Prophet, recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So inshallah we will get to the cake cutting ceremony. So alhamdulillah, as far as we've been doing it on previous years, we usually ask somebody by the name of Fatima Zahra or one of her titles to come. This time I want to ask someone who never cut the cake, who never did. And of course, not brothers. Please sit down comfortably. No, not brothers, no. So, okay, Sayara is one. You never cut the cake? And I never cut the cake? And I never cut the cake? Ever? MashaAllah. So let's do, I got two of them, alhamdulillah. Sayara and Inaya, they're going to come forward with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Okay. So let's inshallah start with Inaya, which I'm in shock. How is that even possible? Because again, do you want to go with that one? Okay. Give another salawat for Inaya. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Thank you. And also a salawat for Sayra. Go ahead. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. And now give both of them a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good. Inshallah, we bring the cake to you. Thank you. I saw there were some others. Inshallah, hopefully we have more cake cutting ceremony later on. But inshallah, from now on, those that their names are not the same as the Ahlul Bayt, alhamdulillah, they love Ahlul Bayt. So they should inshallah get the chance to be able to cut the cake as well. Once again, for all the mothers, as you know, we use the wiladat of Hazrat Zainab as an opportunity to honor our mothers, as well as all of our sisters, all of our daughters, all of our, we can call them the women of our lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regardless of which role they have, especially mothers, because Prophet said the heaven is beneath their feet, but also our spouses and wives, as well as daughters and sisters, any woman who is in our lives, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them, especially those women who are maintaining their iman at this society, as I always say, when they wear hijab, as if they have that, loud statement that I'm Muslim. We can easily, as men, usually, unless you wear this libas like me and you go outside, sometimes they mistake you for other religions. Otherwise, men usually, you get blended in and you easily could be unnoticed. But women who wear hijab, they have that, alhamdulillah, courage, strength, and we can call them come from their iman. May Allah protect them from any harm. May Allah, inshallah, increase their tawfiqat to be able to continue their dedication and their commitment to their iman, and inshallah for them to be able to pass it down to the next generation as great role models that they are, inshallah. For the honor and well-being of all of our mothers, all of our, as I said, women of our lives, and all the mu'mineen and all the muslimin and muslimat. So Muslim women, recite a salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Sure.
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Thank you, Modares, again for making this so easy, and thank you to those sisters as well for coming and cutting the cake. For the help and well-being of everyone, please recite a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And now it's time for poetries and articles. First, I would like to ask خار فوزی افزلی to come forward. از خانم افزلی خواهش میکنم تشریف بیارن و مطلب را که تهیه کردن را به سمع شما برسانن با صلوات بر محمد و آل بیت محمد. دو تا مطلب داریم. از دومیش ما چارج میکنیم، $20 میگه. فرق نمیکنه. بفرمایید.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. هر کس هر آنچه دید اگر هر کجا تویی، یعنی که ابتدا تویی انتها تویی، در تو خدا تجلی هر روزه می کند. آینه تمام نمای خدا تویی. میلاد تو تولد توحید روشنی است. ای مادر پدر غرض از روشنا تویی. چیزی ندیده هم که تو در آن نبوده ای. تا چشم کار می کند ای آشنا تویی. نخل ولایت از تو نشسته چنین به بار. سرچشمه فقاهت آل عبا تویی. غیر از علی نبود کسی امتراز تو. غیر از علی ندیده کسی تا کجا تویی. تو با علی و با تو علی روی واحدی. نقش علیز در آینه، نقش علیز در دل آینه یا تویی. ایمان خلاصه در تو و مهر تو می شود. مکه تویی، مدینه تویی، کربلا تویی. زمزم ظهور زمزمه های زلال توست. مروه توی قداست قدس صفا تویی. بعد از تو ارزنی که به پاکی زبان زده است. سوگند خورده است که خیر النسا تویی. شوق تلاوت تو شفا می دهد مرا. ای کوثر کثیر حدیث کسا تویی. آن راز سر به مور که حافظ غریب وار. می گفت سو به زود به باد صبا تویی. انگام عشق جزا و شفاعت کننده نیست. تنها تویی شفیع روز جزا تویی. در خانه تو گوهر بهصد نهفته است. راز رسالت همه انبیا تویی. راز رسالت همه انبیا تویی. صلوات. یلدا بلندترین شب سال است، اما به بلندی شب انتظار تو نمی رسد. شب یلدایم اگر با تو سپر شد یلداست. یا اگر این شب من با تو سحر شد یلداست. ما که عمری زده ایم دم ز فراق تو اگر. بعد از این شام سیاه ختم سفر شد یلداست. ما که خود چله نشینی تو شدیم آقا جان. این شب چله اگر از تو خبر شد یلداست. شب نشینی و کنار دگران خوب، اما با تو و عشق تو گر جمله به سر شد یلداست. ای خدای کرم و جود محبت مهدی. از کرم بر من اگر از تو نظر شد یلداست. همچنان آل علی در خطر تعدیدند. آن دمی که ز شما دفع خطر شد یلداست. چون شهیدان تو ای شهد شهادت نوشان. سینه هم بر دفاع تو سپر شد یلداست. اگر این چشم من ای سایه به اشک. امشب بحر غم جد تو تر شد یلداست. امشب بحر غم جد تو تر شد یلداست. اللهم عجل ولیک الفرج. صلوات.
خب با تشکر و سپاس فراوان از محترمه خانم فوزی افزری و از مطالب زیبایی که تهیه کرده بودند. حالا هم از محترم حاج کریم بسام خواهش میکنم که تشریف بیارن و قطع شعر را که تهیه کردن در بسام شما برسانن با صلوات بر محمد و آل بیت محمد. الله
با عرض تبریک و تهنیت به مناسبت ولادت بیبی فاطمه زهرا سلام الله علیها، بهترین زن عالم بشریت، و برای سلامتی تمام خانمها و خانواده ها و خواهران عزیز اجماعاً صلوات. محمد و آل محمد. انشاءالله برادران و خواهران با کف زدن و دست زدن یاری کنن ما. جشن میلاد گل یاس پیامبر آمده، جشن میلاد گل یاس پیامبر آمده. گل بریزید عاشقان، گل بریزید عاشقان، زهرای اطهر آمده. جلوه ابن حسن نور سرمد، تهنیت بادا یا محمد. فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه. اسمت ذات خداوندی به دنیا آمده، اسمت ذات خداوندی به دنیا آمده. هیدی از مولا بگیرید که زهرا آمده. ذکر جنت، ذکر رضوان، فاطمه فاطمه جان. فاطمه یا فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه یا فاطمه. کوثر قرآن چه زیبا و مطهر آمده، کوثر قرآن چه زیبا و مطهر آمده. روح ما بین دو پهلوی پیامبر آمده. گویم از جان با دل شاد، یا خدیجه تهنیت باد. فاطمه یا فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه یا فاطمه. کف مولای جان آمد، خوش آمد. حضرت ام حبی آمده، خوش آمده. رکن و بیت و زمزم است، رکن و بیت و زمزم است. آبروی عالم است. فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه. حق این دختر بیا و از سر لطف و وفا، حق این دختر بیا و از سر لطف و وفا. یک مدینه روزی این جمع کن یا مصطفی. ایدی ما را عطا، ایدی ما را عطا کن، قسمت ما کربلا. فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه، فاطمه یا فاطمه. صلوات محمدی. اللهم محمد و آل محمد. دعای شب یلدا. اللهم اجعل لنا في هذا الليل المبارك من السعادة والرزق الواسعة. خداوندا در این شب مبارک برای ما سعادت و روزی وسیع قرار بده. آمین یا رب العالمین. صلوات بلند.
خب با تشکر و سپاس فراوان از محترم حاج کریم بسام و از اجرای زیبایشان. Our second session has finished at this point. There is a lot going on tonight. I don't know why. For some reason, some nights, whenever we're... I know it is a special night for ladies, but we also have a program. Please listen for a few minutes. But we can get a break tonight. I don't know. But we will move on. Please see Brother Haj Zia Yamili and Brother Said Razak if he is here, and make sure that your monthly donations are paid and up to date. If you are attending our programs lately and you're becoming a regular, please, if you can, if you have the ability, talk to Brother Zia Amili and make sure that you establish a monthly donations towards Masjid al-Rasul, towards your religion, and keep the flag of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam up and what do you call, up in flag? What is flag doing? Waving. And yeah, it doesn't matter what I say. Nobody's, okay. All right, Modares, you're up. No. Okay. Please, salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Our Taha Academy tomorrow will be closed. It's on winter break. We will let you know when it's going to get back. Maybe it's going to be next year. And with that being said, the title of tonight's speech will be Islamic Guidelines for Celebration. Islamic Guidelines for Celebration. And now I welcome Ajaga Modares to podium for tonight's speech, inshallah. And we will end tonight's program with a small game towards the end, inshallah. Please pay attention to the speech because some of the questions I'm sure that is going to come from the speech, inshallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Please, please, please. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So as you can see, Brother Haj Farzad, there is no discrimination here. It doesn't matter if Sheikh Modares here is you. It doesn't matter. Alhamdulillah, that's a good thing at least. So, yes, please. Thank you. So, Alhamdulillah, again, it's a blessed occasion that we gathered today to celebrate anniversary of the birth of one of the best creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. According to the Prophet, one of the best women ever created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one whose named, the title was given to her, Sayyidati Nisa'il Alameen. The master, the leader of the women of the worlds. And the one who's also referred to her as Kawthar. Inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar. We blessed you with abundant amount of khayr, amount of good. So we are honoring this honorable figure and personality who is without a doubt an example and role model for the Ahlul Bayt, and of course it should be for us. And when we look at her, regardless again, when we look at the legacy of Sayyidah Fatima, one thing become clear, that what matters, inna akramakum indallah atqakum. The most honorable and respected in the eyes of Allah is the one who has highest level of piety, taqwa, faith. Is not about gender, is not about age, is not about any of the other factors that people take into consideration. For Allah, all that matters is taqwa, is about righteousness and piety. With that, we'll recite inshallah, as-salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. If you, inshallah, promise me to help me with your attention and silence, I'll keep it short. And if you don't, I still keep it short, either way. Because we have, inshallah, an activity at the end. And that activity, as you probably, I hope you paid attention to the email, we do not have prizes tonight. It was just a game. So usually we put game and prizes. So this time in the email, it was just a game. So it's a engaging activity for everyone. It's not going to be individual. It's going to be brothers versus sisters, inshallah. We will have it at the end, and I will explain how everybody can participate, inshallah. It's a game designed by one of the youth of El Hussein Center, which I go on Wednesdays, so all the credit goes to the brother who designed it, inshallah. His name is there, Brother Muhammad Ali designed it. I liked it, and I said, okay, with his permission, we will be using it, inshallah, here. Once again, let's, inshallah, beautify our hearts, bless our tongue with the name of the Prophet and his family with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا خاتم الأنبياء حبيب الله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الهداة المهديين سيما بقية الله في السماوات والأرضين. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر صدق الله العلي العظيم. For the honor of the Prophet and his immaculate progeny Ahlul Bayt, especially for the honor of his honorable daughter, the one that he refers to her as the light of his eyes, a part of his soul, Sayyidah Fatima az-Zahra salamun alayha, recite the salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So we gathered tonight to celebrate. It's a moment of happiness, it's a moment of celebration. And for that, I decided to discuss that in Islam, there are guidelines. There are do's and don'ts in regard of celebrations, in regard of holidays, festivities. And for a Muslim, it's necessary to recognize these do's and don'ts and this guideline. I do my best, inshallah, not to interrupt your talking. I try to, inshallah, concentrate, but I'm adjusting, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So, the reason this topic also matters, especially now, because we're approaching holidays now. We're approaching Christmas time, New Year's, and these are some holidays, federal holidays. And one question that usually comes and is sometimes one of the topic of debates is whether we should or we can celebrate or not. So the topic tonight is not specifically about one event, rather is the guideline in regard of any cultural celebration, meaning that it could be not only Christmas, but also they mention Yalda, which is a Persian, and also it's Farsi-speaking world. They celebrate the longest night of the year. Or it could be in other cultures, like for example, in India could be Diwali, right? Or in other part of the world could be other celebrations, other festivals. So before we get there, there are a few things that we should keep in mind. Number one, there are red lines that we cannot cross, meaning there are boundaries that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defined. It's not up to us. It's not about our opinion. Let's be clear. Once we believe that there is a creator, we believe in the religion and the message this creator sent down, we believe in the prophet who brought that message and that religion. And I said, you know what? Now I believe in it. Then it's not opinion based anymore. You cannot have an opinion on the matter because you acknowledge that there is a superior power, which is Allah, God. There is the one with authority from that God, which is Prophet. And there's the message. The discussion could be whether is this authentic or not. That's a valid discussion. But once that becomes clear, then there is no matter of, oh, what do I think? And that's why Islam means what? Submission. Submission to what? To the truth. I surrender, I submit to the truth. It's not is my truth versus your truth. Is one truth according to our understanding of what is the relationship with Allah. And are we saying there are not gray areas? Obviously there are. Is it that simple, simple that everything is black and white? No. But when it comes to the matter of religion, most of the time it's very clear. So I said that because here and there I hear even people who are Muslims, they say, you know what, I'm a Muslim, but I don't agree with this. I'm a Shia, but I don't believe in this. You'll be amazed. I'm a Shia, but this part of the Shia Islam, I don't agree with. And I want to be clear. That's a very, very dangerous, slippery slope to fall into. That people of the past also fell into. To believe in some part of the religion and deny some other part of it. Even if it doesn't taste well to your appetite or to your opinion, it does not change the fact that if it's from Allah, I should believe in it. That should be your concern. Is this from Allah or not? Is this what God sent, approved, confirmed? And if the answer is yes, even if it's uncomfortable with me, I say, you know what? I don't get it. I don't understand it, but still, I believe. Why? Because Allah, the one who knows better, sent down to us. That's why we look at the stories of the Quran, that people said you should not look at the short term. Small picture. Otherwise, nothing makes sense. When Yusuf alayhi salam, he had a dream. He was a child. In his dream, what he saw? He saw 11 stars, a sun and a moon, are prostrating to him. They're doing sajda to him. And he said, and he told his dream to his father. His father told him, my son, do not speak of this dream to your brothers. In a small picture, it doesn't make sense. Why? It's a dream. It's about a bunch of stars. It's about sun and the moon. But eventually that dream reached his brothers. And for them that they already were suffering from this jealousy, because Yusuf alayhi salam from the young age, he had the signs of being the next messenger of God. He had the potential. And sometimes the jealous person doesn't like to see capabilities of others. It just bothers you for you being incompetent. It just bothers you. It's not their fault, but you blame them. So brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam eventually plot against him, plan his, getting rid of him. Short picture doesn't make any sense. Big picture, later on, years later, we see Yusuf alayhi salam goes through all the ups and downs of his journey. He's being sold as a slave. He's being purchased by the administrator of Egypt. Eventually come to the point now he is in charge of Egypt. He is someone who makes decision for the limited food resources that he advised to basically prepare for the time of famine. And now his brothers are back asking for help and they don't know who he is. Eventually the story gets to the point that Surah Yusuf, the whole chapter is about this story. Get to the point that brothers come, the 11 stars come, the father, the mother come, and there's basically the interpretation, the manifestation of that dream. But it took a lifetime, couple of decades to get there. The issue is that in the short term, we always look, oh, this rule doesn't make sense to me. Because we look at the small picture. We're looking at this wishful thinking world that we think it is. So, what are the guidelines that we have to keep in mind when it comes to celebration? Our deen says in regard of celebration that we need to honor the celebration within our faith, that there are happy occasions within our faith. If we have 4 Eid, 4 festivals, right? We have Eid al-Fitr, which is celebration of a month of fasting. We have Eid al-Adha, Qurban, celebration of the completion of one part of the Hajj, basically, pilgrimage. And we have Eid al-Ghadir, which is the completion of Islam. And then we have Friday. Friday. Mubahala is an important event, but it's not within the 4 that the Ahlul Bayt said. Friday, Jum'ah, completion of the week. The day of getting some time to abandon business and get to Allah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع. O believers, when the call of prayer of Friday comes, stop business, abandon business, and reach out, rush toward the remembrance of Allah. It's also a time of celebration. Each of them is a sign of completing something. It's like a reward. So that's why the first thing about celebration is the meaning behind it. Right? Events matters. The reason that we want to celebrate matters. But the question is, why is it? So we celebrate Eid al-Fitr because of what? Because of a fasting. This is the way that system works. If we reward our children without any hard work, we are raising spoiled, lazy next generation and children, which will harm them more than anyone else. Some of us, unfortunately, because it's also an Islamic religious Mother's Day, we use that as an opportunity to honor our mothers. Some of us, unfortunately, we didn't do justice to our mothers. Why? Because we put all the burden on them. And unfortunately, that was the result of their excessive kindness. Children, when it comes to a certain age, they should start doing their own thing. And I'm not someone that I can claim I did. I didn't. Technically, from 7 and up is a time that children has to learn how to pick up after themselves. But we call them children. They're 7, 8. But from that age, they should learn, you know what? Your mom is not the worker, is not the maid of the house. Start cleaning up. Your room, you should clean it. Although, the mothers unfortunately say, you know what, it's my child. You know, he had a long day in school, as if they were, I don't know, shoveling the ground or something in the school that they're tired. The poor mom been literally physically active the whole day. Some of them don't even sit. And then after this, you know what, I'm going to clean the room anyway. It's a sacrifice that's made, but unfortunately it's not having a good impact on the child. So, the first guideline of Islam is the meaning behind celebration. The meaning behind it. So, we reward efforts. I give the example of parents. Do not just give free rewards to your children. Do not oversatiate them with compliment and praises. Oh, you are a genius. You're best of the best. All the other children are not good as you. This is not doing them justice. And of course, the other side of the equation is also, that extreme is also a problem, that you put them down. Oh, others are better than you, or you're good for nothing, or God forbid, call them, you know, things that you're not supposed to call them. Both extreme are problematic. Balance is that we look at their efforts. This child, they put their efforts. I always say, regardless of what grade our child got from their test or their school, we look at their efforts. If a child, we know that they use whatever they use, I don't know, ChatGPT or cheating or whatever, and they got an A, so okay, you got an A. But don't expect too much, you know, praise, validation from me, because I know how you got it. But if you got a B or a C, but I know you put all your efforts, When others were watching TV and others were having fun, and you decided to study more. I acknowledge that effort. I appreciate that C better. I want you to pay attention to that. Celebrations in Islam is usually come after a series of efforts. Is month of fasting, is going to Hajj and pilgrimage, is the entire week, you go through life and then it's Friday. Eid al-Ghadir is entire Islam. All the efforts of the Prophet come to this moment. Who's gonna protect this message? If you look at it, why Ghadir was the day, Al-Yawm Akmaltu Lakum Dinakum. The announcement of the Imamat and the successorship of Imam Ali, why that day was the perfection of Deen? Think about it. Because when you look at other religions, Christianity, Judaism, what was the flaw? What was the issue that later on developed over time? We call that tahrif, alteration. It changed. Quran says, if you ask Isa alayhi salam on the day of judgment, we will ask him, have you asked these people to call you the son of God? And he will say, no, I never did. But now that major narrative of Christianity is that the whole thing, the whole religion, majority, you can call it even predominantly, is now the notion that has changed. Judaism, same story. If you ask Musa alayhi salam, this is the message you gave to people? What we see right now in Gaza, is that something you sanction? I promise you. This ethno-supremacist system, is that something you approved of? Zionism, is that something you promoted? So is that what we call tahrif, change, alteration, deviance? When Islam came, the threat still is there. The threat is that this message, similar to the previous messages, it could be hijacked. People can change it, people can use it for their own gain. And Allah said, O Messenger, بَلِّغْ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. Go and make the announcement. What that announcement is? مَنْ كُنْتُ مَوْلَى فَهَذَا عَلِيٌّ مَوْلَى. This ayah was revealed for Prophet to make the announcement prior to his death. Ghadir was in Dhul Hijjah, Prophet passed away in Safar. So 2.5 months before his death. Final farewell Hajj pilgrimage. He gathered people and he made that announcement. And then when he made that announcement that whoever, I'm his master, Ali is his Mawla and master, then the ayah revealed, Al-Yawm Akmaltu Lakum. Today we perfect your religion. Why? Because we put someone like Ali in charge. That even those who try to hijack it, his narrative will survive. Doesn't mean that, oh, this religion will never have deviance. It will, because people, as long as you have human factor, there will always be opinion. There's never that you can say, all people think the same way. You have humans, they choose for themselves. But now Allah said, no, we put Ali. Why? Because he is the standard of haqq. He doesn't negotiate even with his own family on haqq, on truth. We put someone to protect this religion. He's ready to put everything in line. He doesn't change his principles. And how Allah knew that? You've heard this of me from before. When they ask him, we will select you, we will appoint you as the third Khalifa if you agree to follow Quran, the Sunnah and the way of the Prophet and the way of previous rulers, Khulafa. He said yes to the first one, that's the principle, we follow Quran. Yes to the second one, we follow the way of the Prophet. The third one, if it's part of these two, why you make it a third separate one? So it means it's not the same as the other two. And he said, no, I only follow the first two. And they said, okay, go aside, we choose a different person. That's the one who doesn't negotiate on haqq, even if it's going to cost them being a ruler. This is the result of an effort. So the first guideline when we have celebration, what is it about? The meaning behind it. Whatever event you're going to celebrate, ask yourself. Okay, it's Mother's Day. It's a time to celebrate mothers. Why not? Doesn't matter if it's an American one, if it's an Islamic one, if it's a, any other. It's an excuse to celebrate mothers. Bismillah. Right? The event is the event of New Year. What are you going to do in the New Year? What is it about? What's this that you are promoting? Again, it is about a time that you take break, hopefully. You had a whole year, it's an official time that you have some time off, you spend time with family, you take care of the family, you try to strengthen your bond with family. Good, if that's what you do, Bismillah. The meaning behind it is good. But there comes other events. Why we celebrate it? Christmas, for example. It's a religious holiday. And there are religious symbols in it. Can we, congratulate Christians on it? Yes, it's permissible. They celebrate it as the part of their deen, is good for them. But when it comes to us, we cannot engage of mimicking and copying of the practices of other religion. Meaning I cannot have a cross in my house. I cannot decorate my house with the symbols of Christianity. Can I have a tree? Again, depends how you look at that tree. Because tree is not part of the religion, it was a pagan practice and all that. But ultimately, is that we cannot copy and mimic and emulate another religion. For that is a no. But if it's not it, then the next guideline comes. This celebration, does it involve a forbidden and a haram activity? So principle number one, we look at the philosophy of the celebration. What is it about? The meaning. The meaning passed the test, now it comes to the second test, which is what? Does it engage forbidden, unlawful activities? If the answer to that is yes, then it still is not permissible for us to engage in it. Right? So for example, if the celebration is about what? It's about drinking, it's about dancing, it's about doing something that is not permissible in our faith. That is haram. You can say, oh, it doesn't make sense and all that. Again, I discussed that at the beginning. It's not about common sense that we like and dislike. It's about once I understand the big picture. Big picture. These are the red lines that we should always keep in mind. Now it comes to details that are not red lines, but we should still consider them. And that is, there are things that in our life that could be permissible, not haram, but in a long term, they have negative influences on us. When you ask Maraji regarding, is it halal to do this, is it halal to do that, the way sometimes people formulate the question, there's nothing wrong with it. Right? Is it permissible for us? I think somebody actually said that. This made this argument. Is grape water haram? I said no. Grape juice haram? No, it's not haram. Is boiling water or something like that is haram? No, it's not. What if I mix it together and through fermentation I have wine? Wine now is haram. The two different things are okay. And somebody answered, if I throw water at you, it's going to hurt you. No. If I throw dust at you, it's going to hurt you. No. What if I mix them together and I have a brick? So the fallacy is, it doesn't do anything. But the big picture tells us there are practices that has bad influences on you and your family. We live in a society that all kind of cultures exist. I want you to think about this. Should we be, God forbid, disrespecting their cultures? No, obviously not. Are they free to celebrate their religious holidays? Of course. But when it comes to us as a Muslim, the priority should be to celebrating our own religious holidays. When I don't make a big deal about my religious holiday, and I make a big deal about Christmas, what kind of a message I'm sending to my child? That's up to us. Is it haram? No, it's not. As I said, it's not. But what kind of message we're sending? The significance of anything, it comes to how much time, how much effort I put into it. And we live at this time. That our children, in a big picture, after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, they look at their childhood memories. All their great memories come from non-religious, even the one that sometimes contradict to our values. And we did it. I always say, if it's possible, you say, oh, it's not possible. No, we can make it possible. I said it before. When people do not take days off and during religious holidays, there is no way that I can say, oh, it's the job doesn't let you. Because it's part of the law that they cannot stop you from taking some time off because of religious holidays. If it's your own business, it means you lose money. Again, the question is, which one is more important? Lose money or honoring part of your identity as a Muslim? So it's very, very critical to pay attention to details here, to create good memories for our children. How to do it? It's a Christmas time, so I want to give you a pragmatic lesson. So Christmas time, the reason people celebrate is not because, they love, God forbid, Christianity more than us. It's none of that. It's because of his holiday time. It's a day off. Other times it's not a day off. It's the middle of the week, everywhere is closed, your job is off. So how can we still honor it and preserve our Muslim identity? It's a day off, but let's make this day about our faith. What simple thing? We can, as a family, have a moment of salat. This is a prayer time. Let's pray together. It's a day off. Usually everybody's schedule is all over the place. Nobody can pray at the same time. The dad is not home. The children are at school. But on that day, in the middle of the day, nobody is anywhere. Everybody's at home. So make it the salat time. If you can do jama'ah, good. If not, at least pray together. Individually, if you cannot do jama'ah, individually. It's a prayer time. Simple thing as, let's start with a dua. There's a time that we're going to end the food with a dua. Always at the masjid, you've heard, at the end of the food, we ask, can we recite dua? But that should be at home as well. We just had our food, let's make a dua. Ask one of the children, make dua. Pray for those in need. Whatever comes to your mind. It could be small things like that we make it a tradition. We make it a tradition. The way we dress, the way we take it, as I said, show significance to something. Tonight we gathered because of Walad of Sayyidah Fatima. One of the most important personalities of our deen. The mother of Imams. If you call them, they're esteemed and honorable women, she is at the top of the list. Prophet, according to the Shia and Sunni, listed her with Sayyidah Maryam, salamun alayha. Named her with Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh. And with Khadija, salamun alayha. So these are been called the best of the women of the history, the best of the women of the world. So if not celebrating her, then what other valid event or excuse we want to find to gather? It's about giving that importance. And then, as I said, those holidays like Father's Day, Mother's Day, and how about having anniversaries, celebrating birthdays and things like that. Our deen, again, is very, very clear that you cannot make something halal haram because you don't like it. I've seen it. There are people out there, again, a lot of young people watch something on TikTok and say, oh, Shaykh, is birthday haram? Celebrating birthdays haram? I said, where did you hear that? Somebody on social media said it. If you know the guideline, what was the guideline? The guideline is that what are you engaging during the birthday? Are you doing something haram? If the answer is no, just having an excuse to gather as a family, have some food together, have some cake together, whatever that is, that's fine. And also it could be a moment of reflection that alhamdulillah, I'm grateful that I was able to get another year from Allah. That this is my plan inshallah for the next year. You can make it a very constructive celebration. It's up to you. There's nothing wrong with that. But now if I make it about extravagant, it's about show off. On social media, I'm going to say, did you see my birthday? How many type of food was on the table? It's excessive need for validation from others. There's a problem. There's a problem. It's an excessive problem. Even honorable and good things, like for example, weddings. Marriage is one of the best time we have at the time of nikah, when two people are getting married, is one of the places that du'as are closest to be answered. It's a very sacred time when two people get married. But that time could be mixed up with, as I said, with israf, with being all about just making a statement, showing off, comparison, sharing too much, putting ourselves and make ourselves to be the subject of discussion. That's our choice. Is it haram? No, but is it a good choice? Obviously, again, big picture. What are we trying to accomplish from that? So use this opportunity on the Walad of Sayyidah Fatima. If I want to summarize the point I made. Number one, red lines. Ask yourself, what is this celebration about? If it doesn't have a meaning, it doesn't have a proper understanding, don't be a blind follower. You know, we have these things. This day is an international donut day, right? International this day, international that day. Once in a while I get it as a day, I don't know, about cancer awareness. I get it. So there's an honorable purpose behind it. It's about, for example, I don't know, Friends Day. It's about honoring your friends. I get it. But there's sometimes excessively meaningless. So meaning matters. Our celebrations, every celebration we have has a meaning. And we cannot say it doesn't matter the meaning. I celebrate because everybody does. Then we are setting a very bad precedent. We're teaching to our children, it doesn't matter. Just be a follower. You sit with this person, become a chameleon, change colors wherever you are. Then when we don't have anything to stick with, when we don't have our principles, we will not succeed in dunya or akhirah, I promise you. Shabath ibn Rib'i was one of those individuals in history. Who is Shabath? Shabath is someone who first joined the third Khalifa. He was on his side. He gave allegiance to him. And then, when people turned against the third Khalifa, the mob attacked his house, he was among the attackers. He changed side, because now it works better for him. Then he gave allegiance to Imam Ali alayhi salam. At the beginning, everybody was begging Imam Ali to accept, to be the next ruler. And then when Muawiyah opposed Imam Ali, he joined Muawiyah. It's not done yet. Imam al-Hassan, after Imam Ali became the Khalifa, he gave allegiance to Imam al-Hassan. Later on, he joined Yazid. He fought against Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He was among those who attacked and participated in the day of Ashura. And guess what? After Ashura, when Mukhtar came to power, which side he joined? Mukhtar, to avenge the killers of Imam Hussein. These people who have no backbone, those that all they care about is their interest, what works for them. This is not an ideal that I say, you know what, I celebrate anything, whatever comes. If it's Islam, if it's Hindus, if it's this, it doesn't matter. What is it now people call me? I'm a citizen of the world. Beautiful. I'm a citizen of the world. If what you mean by citizens of the world, it means what Imam Ali alayhi salam said, that people, you're equal in humanity, you're right. Every human before Allah is equal. But for you to say, you know what? I join every direction, every side. It means it doesn't matter what people do. I don't look at the meaning. I don't look at the action. I don't look at the intentions. All I care about is just go with the flow. Then be ready to teach our children, God forbid, to hang out with the wrong crowd. Because sometimes to please your peers, you have to engage in activities that we know is wrong. And lastly, make a big deal out of these events, out of these celebrations. Because it's a way that we hold on to our identity. We hold on to our heritage. And there's so much to be honored with. We are so blessed that our deen is not, have faith and just, go and just believe in. No, every single Friday we come here, and I promise you, there's so much still unlearned. So much that we can learn how to improve our lives, improve our deen, improve our akhirah and dunya. But first, we need to acknowledge that I have a precious, valuable heritage that I need to access. Otherwise, I ignore it. Otherwise, I'll walk, by it without knowing the worth and the value of it. May Allah, by the honor of Sayyidah Fatima, salamun alayha, help all of us to learn from the message and from the legacy of Sayyidah Fatima, salamun alayha, which is, without a doubt, the following of the legacy of her father, Rasulullah, the true essence of Islam, which was protected, which was preserved by the successor, the rightly Khalifa of the Prophet, Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Okay.